Welcome to the new era of Steeler football. Big Deep News. Now let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, but could this year's Steelers draft class be the one to bring back Steeler football? To get it back to how it's supposed to be here? Almost like in Star Wars, bringing balance to the Force? Because clearly we've lost our way in recent years. From blowout playoff losses to seeing our defenses getting cooked and looking like Swiss cheese at a rate that is unfathomable for a Steelers defense. Offenses consistently looking stagnant. Players looking lethargic at times in big spots, being unprepared. That's not what the Steelers standard is supposed to be. And it seems like these new guys, these rookies, know that more than anyone that's even been here for a little bit. It's only minicamp, and these dudes haven't even played a single snap yet. But I'm liking their mentality and what they have to say.
I love it here. I really love it here, and I can't wait to get, play on Sundays with these guys and, just, overall compete. That's the main thing right now, compete, learn the playbook, and, get ready for Sunday. I'm about to just go in there, as a rookie, learn from Warren, learn from Gainwell, and really just, put my hat down and, keep going. Right now, I'm trying to stay on the field, every down, and show coach that I could be every down back, and like you said, I'm be kickoff returner too. So I just want to do whatever it takes to help the team win right now. So that's my main thing.
I think that, when you look at myself and the other guys who are drafted, Derrick, Harmon, and Y.A. Black, just two, all three of us, try to play with, that motor and that aggressiveness that you need to play at this level. So it's exciting. We're trying to keep the toughness going, and every time we're out there trying to play as physical and as aggressive as we can.
That's kind of the story of my life, and I feel like to be in the NFL, like you're always fighting for a job, no matter what. If you're not on your game one day, you can be gone. It's a business, and I think the things that I went through and learned how to push through adversity and how to come back from bad things. Like I learned so much, and that gave me a pretty hard head, and I got a chip on my shoulder, and I like to carry that with me, and I'm just excited to be here, man. It's I'm blessed, and it's couldn't be a better place. I want to come in here, I want to learn, I want to get better, and that's how I'm looking at this. Who knows what happens, man? Like I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about myself and learning and getting better through the process. I understand I'm a rookie, and I don't know what I don't know, and I whoever's in the room, I know I just met Mason, and obviously I know Skylar pretty darn well, but it's a great room. I'm blessed to be a part of it, and I just can't wait to get to work and learn from those guys, learn from Arthur and Tom and
I love these guys, man. Everybody's ready to work, ready to get to it, and everybody's coming out with a high energy. We had our first walkthrough, and guys are getting after it and just coaching each other up, doing things like that. So just to help my team out, man, just to get to work with my team and be a good rookie and find that vet to get under his wing and just learn this game, because it's a whole different game from college.
I know it's early, but what have conversations been like with the team in terms of your role on this defensive line? What do you see yourself as fitting in with that line?
Whatever role they give me, I can play my role to the best of my ability. If that's me just being a rookie, sitting on the sideline, that's starting day one. I'm just here to play my role to the best of my ability.
Now, I get it. What else are they going to say here? But I don't really think any of these guys are faking their sentiments. They come off as pretty genuine. And not only that, this is what their reputation was, all these guys coming into the draft. This is before they even became Pittsburgh Steelers. No entitlement, work hard, team first, confident yet humble at the same time, and then produce on the field. And we were talking with how last season ended, right? We needed change. Like we need to get this culture back on track. There just needs to be some sort of turnover with this team, because last year wasn't it, and these last 2 or 3 years haven't been it either. And it feels like we've just been running in circles, right? To the Steelers organization's credit and Mike Tomlin's credit, we have made change. We have absolutely made change this offseason. If change is what we were looking for, we absolutely got it. Different quarterback, different running back. We trade for DK Metcalf, trade Pickens out of here. Defense, we got additions to help stop the run. And then obviously you're always going to have the natural additions with the draft every year. And I think most of us are in agreement. The Steelers did a good job. Drafted guys that were on a national championship team at Ohio State. bunch of other dudes from the Big Ten, big programs, winning cultures. So I got hope that this group of rookies could be the ones that could really help get things back on track and make not only contributions now and help spark guys that have been around and haven't seen big winning like a TJ Watt, a Cam Hayward, Minka Fitzpatrick. Like those guys, you know, they could maybe use a spark. They could use some of this energy that this class is bringing in. But we also hope that they're going to be catalysts for us for the next decade. And if they could back it up on the field, the mantras and their mentality that they're bringing to the table right now is something we need, is something we're looking forward to. And sticking with this rookie class theme for today's show, I wanted to focus on two players, Will Howard and Caleb Johnson. A lot of people are talking about Will Howard and how he's impressing already in his short time here in Pittsburgh. And of course, in today's day and age, we're getting extreme takes on both sides of the fence. On one side, we're taking some of those good impressions from Will Howard too far and saying that, you know, he's the next franchise, book it, he's going to be winning us multiple Super Bowls, retire his jersey, this and that. But then you have on the other side of the spectrum a take like this from Chris Sims.
I mean, how many times did I have people on my Instagram or Twitter looking at it going, why isn't Will Howard being talked about as a first-round or a second-round quarterback? Yeah. I don't know, because his arm is below average? I mean, because he's not incredibly accurate and he's not the greatest athlete in the world? Other than that, he should be the first pick of the draft.
Now, this is just asinine. The dude threw for 73% completion percentage at Ohio State last year, and Sims is considering him inaccurate. He watches Will Howard play and thinks he has a below-average arm. How is it when I watch the game or when other people of good football status watch his games, we see good arm strength? And then you add the intangibles that Howard brings to the table, and obviously I think he was a steal for the Steelers in the 6th round. I thought he should have been in consideration with a bunch of these other quarterbacks in that tier 2 after Cam Ward. So for us to get him in the 6th round, absolute steal. And I think he does have a chance to be the guy for all the reasons I just went over. But some of us within Steeler Nation might have to pump the brakes just a little bit. And maybe it's a me problem. Maybe this is on me. Maybe it's because I have PTSD from Kenny. Or maybe part of it's because I still think Mason could be something here. He's still got a chance. And also, there's the fact that if Rodgers signs here, Howard's not even going to be considered again for playing time until at least 2026. So some of this buzz, some of this hype with Howard may be really a moot point here soon, at least for this season. But, hey, it's May, and we got to talk about something. Lastly, Caleb Johnson, Steelers' new running back, made some claims at minicamp that he wants to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
So I feel like, I want to be the next level. I want to come in, I want to get more. I want to be Rookie of the Year. That's my main thing. I want to win the Super Bowls, Rookie of the Year, All Pro. I want to do all that, and I feel like, they can best support me here, and I can get here, and I can do it.
And you know what? I thought about it, and I think he's going to have a really good chance. Because if you just give him Najee Harris's touches from last year, I could see him getting 1,400, 1,500 yards from scrimmage, and that is potentially going to put him in the conversation. Now, if a rookie quarterback goes off, it's going to be tough for a running back or receiver to win it. But you look at this year's quarterback class, I do think Cam Ward is the truth, but I still think that Titans team needs a lot of work around him. I'm not expecting a Jaden Daniels crazy breakout season from Cam Ward in year 1 with that Titans roster. And then Tyler Shuck with New Orleans, I mean, he might get the starting job, but I don't see him doing anything crazy. Shedeur Sanders, when are we even going to see him this year? So it's a big if and when with him. Jackson Dart with the Giants, I don't know if you're going to see him this year either, with Russ and Jameis Winston being ahead of him on the depth chart, most likely, heading into the regular season. Now, other running backs you can make a good case for sure. But receivers, T-Mac with the Panthers, Bryce Young throwing him the ball, Travis Hunter with the Jaguars. I don't see him doing anything crazy, especially with him trying to play both sides of the ball and not being able to focus completely on receiver. I think that's going to take away some of his offensive production. And it's the Jaguars. I think they're going to find a way to screw that up with Hunter. They're not going to be able to fully get the most out of him down there. Because we were talking about Hunter going to the Browns potentially, and I said that was going to be a disaster in Cleveland. Jacksonville's not too far off from Cleveland in terms of dysfunction and not knowing what they're doing as a franchise. Matthew Golden with the Packers, they just have a bunch of other receivers up there. And Jordan Love can spread the ball around. I already mentioned T-Mac. What other receiver? Ibuka with Tampa Bay. That receiver room's busy too. Like, he's not probably going to be hitting his stride with that team and really being the main guy down there for another couple years. So I think it's going to be, I'll just put it to you this way. It's not even necessarily about Caleb Johnson winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think a running back has a really good chance to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Caleb Johnson is going to get the work. To what degree? Because we have Jaylen Warren and also Kenneth Gainwell. That's up for debate. But I'm just saying, if you take Najee Harris's carries and the workload that he got last year, give it to Caleb Johnson, he's going to be good. Like, he's going to have production. He's going to have stats. Now, there's going to be other running backs out there, like I kind of mentioned, that are going to get a chance to prove some stuff on the field too. Like an Ashton Genty with the Raiders, he's got to be the front runner outside of Cam Ward or Travis Hunter. I would actually put him for sure above Travis Hunter from a favorite standpoint, from an odds standpoint. But Travis Hunter, because of the name, because of the buzz, I'm sure he's number 2 after Cam Ward. But I would have Genty up there because there's a clear path for him being the starter with the Raiders. And Pete Carroll likes to run the ball. Judkins with the Browns, he's going to get work. He's probably going to be the starter there. Amari Hampton, he's going to be splitting with Najee Harris with the Chargers. But he does have a defined role, is going to have a defined role and workload. Harvey with the Broncos, he's most likely going to be their starter. And Henderson with the Patriots, he's going to have a role, but he'll be splitting carries with Stevenson. I think outside of Genty, Caleb Johnson has as good of a chance as any other these other running backs to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So, yeah, I don't think he's too far off in making this claim of trying to win the award. I don't see why not. I think he's going to be the starter for us. Jaylen Warren obviously has done more in a Steeler uniform, has a little bit of a built-up equity here, so there's some trust there. But, I mean, we drafted Caleb Johnson for a reason. I think he's going to be at least taking over what Najee Harris was doing last year. Now, how do we incorporate Kenneth Gainwell? That's a different story, too. Does Gainwell get some of the passing down snaps that Caleb Johnson or Najee Harris would typically get last year, and instead of Caleb Johnson getting them, they're going to go to Gainwell? We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. I think Caleb Johnson, he's just going to be getting the ball, and you're going to see him do work on the field, and it's going to be hard to take him off of it. But that's it for today's show of Big Deke News. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Stay chilling. Peace.